let's go over it. You'll keep hearing this. We'll go over it a couple more times. It's all good. Tesla is on schedule. Everything at Tesla is just as advertised, with the exception that the midnight Steel Talk Spy Improv is going to actually be in Tesla. It won't be here in Lovelace. Lovelace, Bell, everything's delayed an hour. Of course, we'll have to make a couple exceptions to that. Telephone Pioneer in Bell is at 10 o'clock, not at 8 o'clock. And the Hacker Cinema is going to be here at 1 a.m. instead of being over in Tesla. Clear as mud?
Yes.
All right. Exactly. So to throw one more thing at you, concert downstairs on the mezzanine by the Video Temple area at 11:30 tonight. Check it out. It's supposed to be some pretty good stuff. So memory, right? Chester Santos is here to talk to us about memory and improving our memory. I would make a Malik and Free joke here, but I honestly haven't been able to think of one. But let's have a hand for Chester.
Hello? Oh. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me fine? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
In the back? Can everyone hear me in the back? Okay. So my name is Chester Santos. I am the 2008 USA National Memory Champion. I'm going to be talking to you today about how you can go about improving your memory. Just before this started, I met some people in the first couple rows. If I met you, please stand up. And if I give your name correctly, please have a seat. So over there we have Carol, Rick, Pedro, Jack, Andy, Valdemar, Michael, Mike, Stephen, James, Leah, Leslie, Timothea, Jason, Matt, Aaron, Malcolm, Ashley, Bob, and Albert. I had originally planned only to do a name demonstration to start out with, but Malcolm here walked up and mentioned that he had to memorize packets of numbers coming in, so I'm going to do a quick number demonstration. Is that showing up on the screen, what I wrote? So if I could have some people, one at a time, come up to one of those mics over there and shout out a number.
Social Security number.
So maybe actually, I'll just ask people from the front couple rows. That's easier. So Carol, can you give me a number, please? 9? Can everybody see that 9?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Rick, give me the number.
5.
Pedro, you want to give me a number?
30.
One digit from 0 through 9.
80.
Go ahead.
6. 1. 1. 7. 2. 0. 3.
Let's go, I guess, over there with Steven. 2,
5.
0.
that's all. Oh, so it's 8 you said?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a little rattled there. Okay, fine. 4. Anybody else want to give it a 5 again?
7. 8.
Okay.
Does it hurt me to do that?
No, I'm just trying to make sure I see all the numbers there. Yeah. Okay, so I will not look at the where should I? Maybe I'll just stand backwards and just tell me if I get anything wrong, okay? So the numbers should start out 9, 5, 8, 6, 1, 1, 7, 2, 0, 8, 3, 8, 2, 5, 3, 0, 8, 4, 5, 5, 7, 8, 0, 9. And just to prove a point that this is actually filed away in my brain in basically like mental filing cabinets, I'm going to recite the number backwards now, starting from the bottom right to left and then, okay? So let me attempt, tell me if I mess up. So it should be backwards 9, 0, 8, 7, 5, 5, 4, 8, 0, 3, 5, 2, 8, 3, 8, 0, 2, 7, 1, 1, 6, 8, 5, 9. So those are just a couple of quick demonstrations to show you what is possible for you if you take the time to train your memory. All of you in this audience are capable of doing extraordinary things with your memory. You just need to be taught how to do it. Before I get into the exercise, by the way, this is going to be a very interactive presentation today, quite different from the presentations I've seen earlier. I'm going to actually have you as an audience memorize a lot of things and recall them. Hopefully you'll find this to be fun as well as educational. Quick little background, how did I win the 2008 USA National Memory Championship? Well, there are many different events. Some of the things I accomplished, I memorized the names of 85 different people perfectly in only 15 minutes. Spelling counts, so if you spell Katie with a Y but it ends IE, it's as if you didn't remember it. I perfectly memorized a 132-digit sequence of computer-generated random digits in only 5 minutes and was able to repeat it forwards and backwards with no mistakes. I memorized the exact order of an entire deck of 52 shuffled playing cards in only 2 minutes and 9 seconds perfectly with no mistakes. I memorized a 50-line poem in about 15 minutes. Those are some of the things that I did in order to win the National Memory Championship. So, thank you. So, now we are going to get into the exercises for you so that you can all do some amazing things with your memory today. I want to say up front that a lot of what I ask you to do today may seem a bit silly, but just bear with me because I promise you that it will help you to improve your memory, all right? So I'd like for everyone to close their eyes, and I want for you to just do your best to imagine what I described to you. Do your best to picture what I described to you and see it happening in your mind. This is a warm-up visualization exercise that we're going to do. So I want for you all to imagine that you walk into your residence, the place that you live. Imagine that you are walking into the living room area of your residence. All right? In the middle of your living room, you see there, standing behind podiums, Barack Obama and John McCain. Okay? Barack Obama and John McCain are standing in the middle of your living room, and they look as if they are about to debate. Now, this seems rather strange to you, but instead of asking any questions, you decide to just hang back and observe what's going on. Okay, so they begin to debate. Picture that as best you can. They begin to debate, and you notice that the debate appears to become more and more heated. And McCain visibly becomes very upset at something that Obama says, and he reaches behind his podium and he pulls out a pie. Okay? He pulls out a pie. He takes this pie and he throws it at Barack, and Barack now has pie splattered all over his face. Do your best to picture that. Now, Obama is pretty upset by this, so believe it or not, he reaches behind his podium and also pulls out a pie, takes it, throws it at McCain, and apparently Obama has pretty good aim as well, because McCain now has pie splattered all over his face. Just do your best to picture that. Now, what was once a debate has turned into a full-blown pie fight, and the politicians are continuously throwing pies at each other. Just do your best to picture that. Now, if the imagery isn't crystal clear, that doesn't really matter. Just do your best to see that happening in your mind. Okay, now at this point, you are all primarily experiencing visual images in your mind. You're seeing that pie fight happen, but what I want you to do now is attempt to get even more senses involved as you experience this in your mind. Imagine now that you can not only see the pie fight happening, but imagine you can hear it happening. Imagine that you can hear the pies flying through the air. You can hear the pies as they're splattering all over the politicians. Do your best to imagine hearing it happen. Okay, now go ahead and imagine that you can even smell the pie. Okay, imagine you can smell the pie fight happening. Just do your best. Okay, take it a step further now and imagine walking up to one of them and imagine that you take some of the pie off of their face and you feel it in your hands. Maybe it feels sort of sticky. Just do your best to imagine doing that. Okay, and now go ahead and take some of the pie and put it in your mouth. Taste the pie. Hopefully you're imagining some pie that tastes pretty good. Okay. Go ahead and open up your eyes, everyone. Open up your eyes. Now, that was a pretty simple exercise, right? Pretty simple for everyone to complete. Well, what I want you to know is that if you were able to complete that exercise, then you actually have the ability to remember anything that you want to remember quickly and easily. And here are some reasons why. Reason number one, I had you exercise your visualization ability there, and your visual memory is incredibly powerful. An example that I always give in my speeches and presentations is a situation that we've all experienced at some point in our life where we will see someone that we may have met even years in the past, right? We see them and we recognize their face. We know that we met the person. We know that we met them somewhere before, but no matter how hard we try, we can't seem to come up with the name. Why is that? Well, when you met the person, you actually saw their face with your eyes. You saw the face was recorded into your visual memory, but at no point did you ever see the name. That's why it's more difficult to remember the names. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to talk to you about how you can picture names so that you are better able to remember them. But for now, just note the power of your visual memory. Another thing to take away from the simple exercise, I had you get many of your senses involved as you were experiencing that scenario happen in your mind, right? As you get more and more of your senses involved in the encoding process when trying to memorize something, you're actually activating more and more parts of the brain, all right? When you're activating more and more parts of the brain, you're building more and more connections